Do you love where you live? People in Pennsylvania might think they live in the best place in the state. After all, you wouldn't spend your life somewhere you truly didn't love, right? Not always. In fact, a Pew Research study determined that almost half of Americans would rather live somewhere else than they do now. Well, if you're in one of the Pennsylvania cities we're about to highlight, odds are you don't want to go anywhere. The goal today is to analyze the best cities in Pennsylvania to live. How did we do it? Well, we looked at all the places with low crime, great jobs, great weather, affordable housing, and solid schools. We even looked at short commute times. You might be surprised by the results. So pull up a chair and put a smile on your face as we look at Pennsylvania's best cities. Our first stop on our tour of Pennsylvania's best city starts in Ridley Park. While lots of people in PA might be like, are you kidding me? When you look at the data, it's actually a great place to live. Crime is the 10th lowest in the state, and they have the 3rd best public schools in Pennsylvania. Plus, Ridley Park residents are in the top 10 for income levels. Our next best city to live in Pennsylvania is New Cumberland. The unemployment rate here is really low. It's relatively safe in New Cumberland, and the housing market is great. And if you like sunny days, this is your place. It's the kind of place where you can just chill, yo. However, the public schools aren't as good here as they are in other districts, so your kids might not be getting the best education. Continuing our best city tour of Pennsylvania brings us to Hollidaysburg. This awesome city ranks 4th in income levels, 3rd in school spending, and there's hardly any vacant homes. That means lots of people want to live here. Crime's really low and the public schools are great. If you live in Hollidaysburg, you're probably straight chillin'. If you're looking for a great place to live, you might want to consider Franklin Park. Believe it or not, Franklin Park families command some of the highest incomes in the state, and people here are pretty cheerful. Plus, each Franklin Park school kid gets about $1,000 more each than the state average. It sure beats some of the other middle of nowhere places in Pennsylvania you could call home, that's for sure. Conshohocken comes in as the 6th best city to live in Pennsylvania. While there's a ton of places in PA where people are very backwoods, you won't find that here, where residents earn on average the 3rd highest incomes overall. Conshohocken is 7th lowest for crimes too. However, the bad side of this area is commute times. There aren't too many other places in Pennsylvania where you'll sit in the car longer going to and from work. Despite the fact that many people haven't considered it before, Collegeville is actually a great place to live. Families are comfortable here and the housing market's just fine. And it seems just about everyone in Collegeville is in a great mood all the time. No surprises here that Lititz is one of the best places you can live in the state. Lititz takes number 1 in 3 categories. It's the safest place to live, the unemployment rate's the lowest in the state, and surprisingly, commute times aren't that bad. If you don't have a job in Lititz, it's because you refuse to work. Where's the 3rd best city to live in Pennsylvania? You might be surprised to hear it, but it's Swarthmore. Not only is Swarthmore one of the most beautiful cities in the state, it has great schools and low crime. Plus, it's not very crowded. And if you want to get away to a bigger city, it's easy. Yeah, people in Swarthmore have it made. This might not be a very popular opinion, but when you look at the data, Clark's Summit is the 2nd best city you can live in Pennsylvania. People here are really successful, and folks in Clark's Summit earn pretty decent salaries, thank you very much. That means you can retire a lot earlier. Plus, you don't have to watch your back all the time since crime's really low. And where's the best city to live in Pennsylvania? That would be Camp Hill. Surprised? Households in Camp Hill are in the top 10 when it comes to average incomes. And not only do Camp Hill folks earn great salaries, most have great jobs. And you have a ton of stuff to do within a short drive. Factor in lots of fun, low crime, and lots of friendly people, and you've got one hell of a place to call home. If you live in Camp Hill, or any of the other Pennsylvania cities we mentioned, congrats! You certainly have a reason to smile.